Tata Steel has some time.
All right, Tata Steel has recovered nearly 3.5% from the day's low. But moving on to Cipla, that in fact is down 2.5%. It's the second biggest loser on the Nifty after Cairn India. Ekta, what's pressuring Cipla? We understand that Mylan has launched a generic version of an inhaler, which we thought Cipla would be launching.
No, it is going to still launch the inhaler drug. It's just that a competitor, which is Mylan, has launched it before Cipla. So that doesn't mean that Cipla is not going to launch the drug. So basically what the news is that Mylan has launched this particular drug, which is GSK's Seretide Evohaler in the UK. And remember that they've launched it under the brand name, which is called Dupla, which is in the UK. And it is for asthma, for anybody which is above 18 years old. And in fact, it is important because UK is the largest market for this particular inhaler drug globally. This is seen as a negative for Cipla because Cipla was estimated to be the first player to launch this particular drug in the UK, and Mylan's launch, according to reports, is in fact 12 months earlier than expected, and Cipla, on the other hand, is possibly facing a 12 to 18 month delay in terms of the launch. But Cipla is, however, expected to launch the drug in the second half in the UK, and a filing for the US markets, which would be bigger, is expected in FY17. Bank of America Merrill Lynch has retained its neutral stance with the target price of 662. Kotak has retained its buy and they've revised the target price lower, marginally, however, to 695 versus 710 rupees. So it is an incremental negative, but it isn't the fact. But Cipla will still launch the drug.
All right, and its advantage buyers, as the Consumer Court in a historical judgment has asked Unitech to pay home buyers 12% compensation for delays in the delivery of their flats. Sonia has been tracking that. She has all the details. Sonia.
Well, thanks, Samira, for that. You know, this is just the kind of justice that a lot of customers were hoping for in this particular case. So, in a landmark ruling, as you pointed out, the Consumer Court has asked Unitech to pay the home buyers a 12% compensation for the delay in the flat delivery. Now, this is pertaining to, one of their projects called Vistas in Gurgaon. 24 buyers filed a case on the company stating that they booked the flats in 2010 and they were promised delivery in 3 years, but no delivery has been done in the last 5 years. Up until now, no delivery of the flats has been done. So there was a case put on the company, and finally, the Consumer Court has given the verdict in favor of the consumers. Now, the 12% compensation that Unitech has to pay will be paid from the date of delivery that was originally promised, which is 2013, up until the new date. And the delivery dates that are now promised are Feb 2016. So there's still some more time to go, almost a year or so. And the Consumer Court has said that any further delay beyond the new deadline would draw an 18% compensation. So one wonders, how Unitech is going to cough up the funds, because it is sitting on debt of more than 6,300 crores. Additional negative news coming in for the company, and that's the reason the stock is under quite a bit of pressure today.
Thanks, Sonia, for those details. KEC International is holding up in the green. The stock is up 1% at a time when most of the other mid-caps are under pressure. Agam, we understand that the management held an analyst meet yesterday. What were the key takeaways? Did they sound optimistic?
Absolutely, and the analysts are also looking favorably to KEC International after the management meet. So, among the key highlights from the management, we understand that the domestic transmission and distribution business will be, benefited from the big capital expenditure put in by Power Grid as well as all the SEBs around. In fact, if you consider Power Grids and the SEBs capital expenditure, that's meant to be somewhere around 40,000 crores for this particular fiscal. And, KEC International is very much in fray to take advantage of this capital expenditure. Moreover, they've also made some comments on when it comes to their international transmission and distribution business, which is doing very well, especially in areas such as Africa and Middle East. The management has also spoken specifically about their margins, where they expect their FY16 margins to be at around anywhere between 7.5% to 8% from 6%, which was in FY15. So that's another positive. And because of that, Kotak on KEC suggests that they are well placed to capture the business upside and as well as sustain margins. And for that matter, Motilal Oswal is also suggesting that KEC is well positioned to capture the capex transmission and distribution pie. So both these brokerages are looking favorably when it comes to KEC International.
All right, Agam, thanks for that, and thanks also to our entire research team for highlighting all the stocks which are buzzing at noon. So let's quickly recap them for you. We have Vedanta, Cairn at the top of the pack, Bharat Forge, Havells, Sun TV, Nestle, Tata Steel, Cipla, Unitech, as well as KEC International.